This is arguably the biggest issue with FlutterFlow. FlutterFlow was originally designed around Firebase, so they went all in on Firebase auth, database, crash reporting, app check, storage, yada yada yada. Realistically, it was the Firestore database causing these complaints. I don't think anyone was really complaining about the one-click, zero-cost push notification service. So the FlutterFlow team introduced Supabase support, and it's everything that Firebase is not. But to use Supabase in any meaningful way, you have to have row-level security. To get row-level security, you need Supabase auth. And using Supabase auth breaks half the features that makes FlutterFlow work like magic in the first place. You'll know this hassle if you've ever wanted to keep Firebase push notifications but also use Supabase. But hey, who needs push notifications anyway, right? Said no app developer ever. I believe I've solved this. One custom function and one cloud function, and you'll be able to use Supabase and Firebase in your FlutterFlow project. This is super easy to set up too. It'll take about 5 minutes. Just follow the link in the description and you'll get all of the code you need to be able to copy paste. In your FlutterFlow project, create a custom action and call it update Supabase token. And copy paste the code from my article. What this code does is to monitor the Firebase token. When the token changes, such as during a token refresh or if the app is starting up, it'll trigger a cloud function called mint Supabase token. The cloud function will decode a Firebase token, mint a Supabase token that row-level security will accept, and then it will set this token into the headers for any Supabase request. Because this is a watcher, it has to be running all the time. And for that, it needs to be invoked by main.dart. This is simple. You just go into main.dart and add a final action and then select the custom action. Halfway there already. Now we'll create a cloud function and we'll call it mint Supabase token. Again, copy paste this function from my article. This will create a Supabase access JWT token that will survive for 2 hours. Although that's just for padding, the watcher will actually refresh it when the Firebase auth token refreshes every hour. Now, there are 2 more things that we need to do to make this cloud function work. The first is to import the JSON Web Token JavaScript library. This library is responsible for minting the token. That means you have to go to package.json and add the JSON Web Token library. Now, we'll deploy the function, but we're not quite done. The last thing is to set the Supabase JWT secret environment variable. This step is in no way optional because we need to tell Supabase that we're authorized to mint the tokens. Go to console.cloud.google.com. If you've never visited the GCP console before, you might be surprised to learn that you already have a project here. Firebase is actually just an abstraction over GCP services, and if you search for cloud run functions, you'll see not just your new mint Supabase token, but also all of the other functions that FlutterFlow has deployed for you when you clicked various buttons in the console. Now click into mint Supabase token, click edit, go to runtime build connections and security settings, and then add an environment variable that's called Supabase JWT secret. Then go to your Supabase dashboard, head over to project settings, API, and then down to JWT settings, JWT secret. And then you want to reveal and copy this JWT secret. And then we go back to Cloud Run and we paste the value for the secret into the Supabase JWT secret environment variable. And then next, and then deploy. And you're done. Let's test it. In the test session, you probably want to open the browser console immediately. We're going to check the network tab and we're going to see if our cloud function is triggering properly. Now, just as soon as I log into the application, the mint Supabase token cloud function should fire. And yeah, there it is, mint Supabase token, perfect. And this gives us the access token that we need, and that's actually for Supabase, not for Firebase. If mint Supabase token doesn't fire and it comes up as red, it's really important that you fix this issue or Supabase won't work. But there are some debug statements inside of the cloud function and the custom code, so have a look at these, they might print to the console. Another thing to check is to make sure that the Supabase JWT secret environment variable is set in GCP. And also just check GCP in general for any generic cloud function errors. There'll probably be error messages that can tell you where to start. By the way, speaking of errors, the second biggest time drain in my FlutterFlow journey has definitely been trying to debug push notifications. So if you're having trouble with this as well, be sure to check out this video next. And I'll see you next time.